This video is not entirely what you think it is, and if you watch it until the end, you'll understand why. It is a really important video for anyone who wants to comprehend the physical and metaphysical nature of the world we live in, and for anyone who wants to learn about their purpose on Earth. In fact, this might be one of the most important videos connecting all the dots and finally offering an answer to all our questions. The content presented here is dense and complicated, and it requires an open mind, but if you listen carefully and if you accept what is presented here, you might make an incredible progress in your journey here. You have no idea where you came from, why you're here, and what's next for you, and this content offers important answers to all of the above. What is the source of this information? A few days ago, I came across a document that described an online discussion of someone who claimed to be an insider of the ruling elite family. This happened on one of the internet forums in September of 2005, long before all the social media and the internet as we know today, as forums back then were the main place where all the discussions were taking place. As I read all of the 660 posts, it quickly became clear that this is not some hoax, but a discussion with someone who has access to genuine hidden knowledge and insight into aspects of life that we only see glimpses of in our everyday reality. These forum entries quickly gained a lot of attention and have been extensively discussed and analyzed in the following years by truth seekers everywhere. I've not found one sentence that would make me question the logic and validity of the answers offered by the forum member, but what I did find was highly valuable confirmation and extension of everything I've been researching and discovering on my own for 20 years. It was as if someone finally connected all the dots for me and put all the 434 videos in one logical folder. What I did was analyze the 39 pages of text and translate and arrange all the available answers into logical categories. All you will hear is presented in his own words, not mine. I did some translations and corrections, but I tried to stick as close to the original as possible. This was more than a week of hard work, and it might be a turning point in your life. At least that's what it feels like for me. Send this video to everyone you know, and you might be offering them a gift of existential value that is so much bigger than life itself. As you will learn in a moment, there is a coordinated effort to bury all of this information under a pile of lies and misinformation. I need your support to continue discovering these truths, and how important this work is you will learn in a moment. To sponsor this channel, you can become a member of Patreon or Subscribestar, or you can say thank you with a PayPal, Cash App, and bank or cryptocurrency transfer. These videos are watched by thousands of people, but only thanks to a few generous contributors I can continue uploading these messages. Become one of them and help this channel grow. Visit the shop to buy a t-shirt or schedule a donation-funded chat with me. All links in the video description. Thanks a million. The insider is a member of an elite family that humans despise. He comes from a minority within the elite faction, which is getting smaller. He's in human form, not an abuser of little kids, not a lizard, not a part of a banking family, and not a Templar. English is not his native language, and he speaks several other languages. He does not eat or drink 90% of what you do on a daily basis and what is sold in shops, as he eats what nature provides directly by growing vegetables and fruit from uncontaminated seeds. He keeps healthy animal for meat, eggs, and milk, and he drinks water from an underground spring. He says, food and drinks from independently run shops are better for you than the ones sold in supermarkets. This is not how the rest of his family lives, as they have people who provide them with their needs with the products from their own properties, factories, farms, and so on. More on food in a moment. About the elite family. They are a long-time human ruling bloodline. Their name has rarely been mentioned in history, and no one knows who they are. They keep their family lineage pure, and he says it is a myth that inbreeding always causes health problems. These elite families have been chosen to rule, as the souls which incarnate into their bodies are picked by the divine law. Their beliefs are not important, but it is about serving the divine law which was passed on to them. The elites are neutral and doing their duty, which many times comes across as negative. They manipulate this world only as far as they are allowed to by the divine law. They are not actively leading humans so that they can live their own lives without being exposed. They don't have a plan to kill humans as it could have been done instantly long time ago. They perform certain rituals in order to connect with the higher beings who govern this realm. Rituals have a meaning which cannot be understood by most. These are not the highly publicized type of demonic rituals. Those are performed by and for media and politicians. The elite sometimes is present there, but they don't take part in them. People like David Icke are wrong about the elite family, but there is a reason for that, and it serves an important purpose. The elite provide humans with tools, and then it is up to them to determine how to use it. Tools can be used in a malicious or a good way. You are choosing it yourself. These members of the elite families are not robots who all act the same. Some of them have the task to occasionally pass on knowledge with certain boundaries when ordered by the higher beings, and this has been done many times throughout history. They are distributing the tools which can be used by you to free yourself or chain yourself, and it is your choice. Some bloodlines refuse to do their duty just like others do, suffering the consequences related to it. Many elite families do not know about the information presented here either. The ones you know the names of and suspect of being elites are not true elites like you have been taught by alleged conspiracy whistleblowers. They are only the puppets of the true rulers. They are regular humans and they wouldn't be allowed to be in the same room with the elites. They are a distraction. The ones who support any of these publicly known faces are failing their task in this life. They have only as much power and control as you give to them. The leaders of the truth movements are giving them more power unknowingly. The ones who own the banks also own the media and politics, and they control what to believe in. Many of them are criminals and are broken people. They exist for a reason, and they are not as powerful as they are being portrayed. About humans. Humans are in no way a threat to the true elite families now. A long time ago, they almost managed to take over, and they paid a price for this, consequences of which we see to this day. There is presently only one race of humans, no one special or above them. Humans don't know that they are slaves. Most humans are at the peasant stage, and they ruin the life and the earth with their attitudes and actions. The more divided people are, the easier it is to rule over them. They are being deceived to believe they have a sword in their hands, which they think makes them powerful and able to fight the Darksiders, while it is just a toothpick. But the elites have to be very careful who they give the imaginary sword to, as you have more power than you think you have. The elite has no plan to reduce the population. That is fully in the hands of the people. Certain events are seen as that while they are serving another purpose. In fact, the opposite is true in most areas on Earth. If an event like this takes place, it would be humans doing it to humans. It is humans' job to enlighten themselves. There are movies and music out in the open that can be helpful. The food humans eat has a role in this, as what is sold in shops is toxic and affects some humans fully, and some are not affected at all. If you eat these foods, you wear out and get tired faster. You grow older, think slower, and mainly focus on emotional and physical needs. Humans get now health problems that were unheard of 200 years ago, at that relatively young age. You are not what you eat, but what you eat controls how you feel about yourself, the way it makes your body respond. The quality of life declines because of that and because of the methods that were implemented around the time of the so-called French Revolution. They are interlinked, and they are food and drinks, medicine, including vitamins and modern healthcare, electrical waves from electric networks and everything chipped, your house being the most active place, legacy media and internet, music and sounds, so-called pop culture, air pollution, educational system, including known literature, history, psychology, meta-psychology, philosophy, art, science, poetry, and even fairy tales. And there are a few other methods like societies, cults, sects, people policing each other, and so on. Humans think inside a box that was created for them by others, and you need to be careful when something is officially promoted, praised, applauded, critically acclaimed, or free. But don't get too cautious, as you could miss a few gems that are deliberately passed on by some in between the manipulation tools. Like in the case of the story of the Anunnaki, who were rulers from a different era, who are gone now and were replaced by others. Do not pay attention to the world events. They are all orchestrated to make you pay attention to them. The struggle you should pay attention to is on a personal level, and it will be explained in a moment. Fake spirituality was manufactured. Conscious shift happens on a personal level, meaning you getting self-conscious yourself through the tools available to you. People like David Icke have a core of truth they are trying to spread, but what David does not realize is that this actually works against him, as the reptilian information was fed to him by the ones who work for the elite families. Others like him, and there are more than you think, have been fed similar stories. These leaders have more power to do harm than the elites have the power to do personally. But it seems that humans managed to figure out some truths as described by the elite insider. There were many events in the past which altered the way civilization is perceived. The magnetic poles of Earth are shifted on purpose. Economy is based on money that doesn't exist and never existed. Humans rediscovered Nikola Tesla's knowledge, which was passed on to him by two insiders. The energy discoveries were not his original ideas. Tesla was supposed to use it to advance the plan of that time to gain control over the energy resources from certain bloodlines by diminishing their value with new technology. Tesla made it public to the wrong people and ended the whole thing. The insider also confirmed that the Earth is producing more oil and gas than is being used now, and that it is a natural process based on the principle the more you take, the more it produces to balance itself. The Earth is storing it until it gets used. Studying the bees and the way they produce honey should be helpful in understanding this process. There are places with large amounts of untouched natural resources. All human natural resources are under full control. Let's slowly move into the really important information and the truth about human life, and it needs to start from explaining human religions. Religion is created by the elite families. The religions which rule now are the ones that are under total control. If the name of an entity is public, it means it is fabricated. Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, there is a core of truth in them, but it is drowning in a sea of perversions. Yahweh used to represent an age where mass control was taking shape. Muslims were divided on purpose. It is very easy to make humans believe they are enlightened and know the truth, and make them think it is their task to wake up others. There is no end time, no apocalypse. If you're waiting for a savior on earth, you will fail your task here. The insider explains this with the example of Christianity. Around 2030 years ago, on March 20th, almost 2 hours before sunrise, a person called Jesus was born. Christ did not descend into the body of a human called Jesus. Like other gods with names, Jesus of Nazareth was a creation of the elite. He was not a master of the game. He was a puppet being used in the game, and he still is serving the agenda among humans. 4 individuals wrote the Hebrew Old Testament, and 6 people wrote the New Testament. The Christ has nothing to do with Jesus of Nazareth. That part was later fabricated. The Christ, which has a different real name, appeared just once, and this was in another era. It is important to pay attention who keeps the knowledge about the real Christ alive and who continues the story of Jesus. The teachings of the real Christ are not the teachings of Jesus of Nazareth, although the latter adopted a lot from the former. The message was there since the real Christ revealed itself in another era than ours. Jesus of Nazareth was part of our era. Without the appearance of the real Christ on earth and the resulting revelations, human would not know how to return for the divine law. Where we are, what, who, how, why, and when was revealed in accordance with the will of the One. Higher beings don't need us for anything in our present form, but appreciation is a way to let the Christ know that you are conscious of it. You need the recognition that it grants you, and it is the real Christ who should receive all the human praise. The real Christ did its duty fully and successfully, and now it is your turn. Christianity is about idolizing a human called Jesus of Nazareth, and it is an abomination. Christians teach what they have been told to teach by the ones they oppose. Humans who worship the bad think they worship the good. Following these false religions makes you stuck here. There are at this moment literally billions of antichrists. You will find them among Christians, Muslims, Jews, atheists, Satanists, agnostics, Buddhists, Hindus, and so on. They don't need a leader to be more antichrist. It is wrong to worship, idolize, and praise humans in writing or through words. Praise and prayers may only be offered to perfect beings. Now it's time to move to the important part of the revelations. This place is not what you think it is. You don't live on a planet, and reincarnation is a fact. Earth is a prison. Everybody came here almost for the same reason. Everybody will be released from here eventually, but the ones who believe the contrary will never escape. You don't decide whether you leave or come back, and you return back to where you belong after you have succeeded in your task. There's a part that can be called escaping, which will be followed by transcending. If you fail, you will reincarnate. All humans are corrupt while on Earth, and you are still here because of your lack of understanding. There's just one struggle, and it is now, here on Earth and on a personal level. You struggle with yourself. If you succeed, there will be no struggle anymore. The physical aspects like fear are not important here. There is no enemy you can attack except yourself. If you're busy attacking something else, you're wasting precious energy and you will fail. If you're doing something which was not allowed or doing a task which was not given to you, you will suffer in this life. We're in this material plane and experience low frequencies as reality, although we may float above it and experience the higher realm too. Souls are dual, meaning you are also somewhere else, waiting to be united in another realm. The unseen you, the soul, is not a part of you, but you are one. It is the task of every soul to accomplish that, all while in this human shape. Some humans are directly linked to the elite bloodline. This goes deeper than just blood and genes. Someone with no connections to the elite families can be affected by divinity in such a way that they could surpass anything the elites could ever achieve collectively. Humans originally belonged to a different realm. Certain individuals are born into the bloodlines to be able to reign over the people under certain circumstances. That is what the bloodline is mainly about. Divinity can choose to pass on its power however it wishes to. Divinity can make one human to be stronger in every way than all humans combined. The universe is a living entity who uses its mind to create, and the beings created from that might have the same power within their boundaries. The higher beings who govern this realm are good. There are also malicious beings. They exist and they come from this realm. Some humans are led by them. They cannot accept hearing or reading certain things without getting overly mad and aggressive. These beings appear around us when we're being excessively driven by emotions, passions, or desires as they are doing their task, their rightful duty, and it is connected to your behavior. Humans call them evil, but they're not. They never instigate. You are the perpetrator who plays the victim and they react. Respect their task and it will be recognized. These beings will accompany your thoughts and they'll try to divert them. There is not a force which does not want you to be what you really are, but these beings have their job too. Some people who believe they are good are actually involuntarily on the side of evil. Most humans are in their actions against the One, and they create a world contrary to the One. Knowing yourself and where you really are the two most important issues that you should be involved with. It is your task to find out. If you find the answers to those, you will have accomplished a huge part of your duty towards yourself. After that, your task would be living according to the divine law, which is revealed to you after that stage until departure. If someone gave you the correct answers, it would not mean a thing to you, for they would not be applicable to you in a way they would if you were to find them yourself. The divine law has a purpose for you, and it is not in this realm. Prove you are worthy again to be released. The destruction is a part of that. You can't be told what it is, or you will never escape. The One is described by the insider with many names, but to avoid confusion, I'll use only the phrase the One here. The One is worshipped and praised as what humans call God. The word God is a corrupt term, as it would imply that you, as human, can have control over requesting the presence of a higher being. The One is self-existent, pure, and good. Everyone answers to the One eventually. The One manifests through hierarchy of immaterial beings who work together in different ways. Some are lowering their frequency to appear in the material world. Higher beings and souls are different entities. Once you connect to it, you will have access to your true consciousness. If you connect with it, you may experience its unlimited power. You may interact with the One, which may allow you to become one with it. Your duty towards the One and yourself still stays the same no matter what happens in the world. Search for the One, as it will enable you to pick out the truths and later on directly pass them on. The divine law is the manifestation of the will of the One, which not only creates everything that exists within this universe, but also maintains, nourishes, balances, energizes, and renews it. It also reigns in other realms, including the realm you originally belonged to. The divine law controls what is called karma, but it is much broader and harsher than people want to accept. For example, someone who gets cancer and dies a slow, painful death deserves it. That person is being corrected. It is for their own good. Just because it comes across as negative in this realm does not mean it is negative in the big picture. You get what you deserve. That is how the universe works. Elites do their duty, you do yours. Human spoken and written words emanate a frequency which have a direct effect. This visualization is an essential way of the creation process in this material universe. This ability is there for everyone to receive. You have to dial in. It is being provided by the divine law to everything that searches for it. Creation through visualization does not work for everybody. You have to reach a certain stage in your development. This means living by strict rules, applying them to everything you do in life in detail. Most humans do not have the discipline nor self-control to achieve that stage. Some here talk like they can, but they are further away from it than they think. When masses are made to believe something negative, they may create what they did not want. This is how, for instance, the current tyranny works. You are believing it is taking shape, so it will take shape, and theorists and major players are helping this taking shape by bombarding you with facts that it is taking shape. So the people who are waking up to it are the ones who are creating it. Visualization also works that way around. On the process of human development, the first thing a baby does when born is cry. It does so because the soul is conscious of what it has been born into and is in a state of disbelief. You are more conscious of what you're and where you are right after birth than you are now. The soul makes the body cry because it is the first time it came to this physical realm, or because it realizes it has returned through reincarnation after failing in the former life, which is the vast majority. It cries for no apparent reason for days, weeks, and months until the consciousness loses all its power, be it through natural processes or the influence of parents, or today through medication. That is when the human is truly born, after they forget who they are and where they are. Some forget faster than others. This crying is different to the crying that follows after the first few months, and some can distinguish between them. Comfort them during this crucial period of consciousness and make it known that the One has gifted them with a chance to return back to the place they belong. This will have an impact which will influence the baby for the rest of their lives subconsciously. The time of birth and death is determined together with the environment, parents, circumstances of birth, health, and so on. Nothing is a coincidence. But during puberty, they get cut loose from certain strings, and they will be fully responsible for their actions, having free will to lead the life they want. They will determine the quality of it, and they can even determine the way they die by the choices they make, but they cannot change when they die. Most of the child's life will be based on free will, which will have very little to nothing to do with parents. They are only important in the first 5 to 6 years of the child's life. So that's where you can do most good. Just a few areas of their lives will be influenced by the tools that the parents have given them. When becoming a parent, you are rewarded with parental qualities which were not available before. Listen to them. Make the child aware that there is more than they experience, that there is the source where everything and everybody flows out of for a reason, and one day they will return after realizing what their task here on earth is. Make them aware of it over the years. If done the right way, they will start looking for it on their own for the rest of their life, which is their duty. If you present it to them in an obvious way, like religious people do, you will achieve the opposite. They will be manipulated, but after puberty, the opportunities will start to appear to undo it. You cannot stop the manipulation, nor can you instigate an awakening. That's up to the child. The One with the divine law is always accessing the child, offering a chance to wake up. Humans have intuition and instinct. There are two different matters, and one needs to learn to distinguish between them. Also, help them learn to play a musical instrument. In adult life, your body forces you to experience emotions, together with desires and passions. It will be to confuse you, to make you forget yourself, and to make you a dumbed down version of yourself. They all have their foundation in this physical world, and the more you let them be your masters, the stronger you will chain yourself to this world, which is the opposite to your duty. But do not reject them, respect them, and channel them to a place where they can be used for something substantial. The word love is misunderstood. It is not meant to be understood in human terms, which humans are enslaved by, as it is a corrupt version of real love. Your physical body has the task to let you experience this reality, and whenever you search for another reality, it will resist. It is its duty, so respecting it and gently taming it is the best approach. Your physical body will rebel every time you will try to reach that higher realm. In this realm, a soul which was in a physical body once cannot become an angel, which I'm assuming means a higher being. You are not in the body, but you envelop it while being present in another visible body, which consists of elements similar to the soul. This invisible body is entangled with the physical plane and connects with the visible body through energies transmitted by the invisible body to the brain, heart, and areas in the spine. And that's why you may control the body and its functions experiencing this realm. The insider described the process of leaving. This is what he said. Your purpose cannot be passed on to you in detail by someone. That actually will lead to the opposite of what needs to be achieved. You can be guided up to a certain point, and then it is up to you. The tools to free yourself are in your hands, around you, everywhere. It is your duty towards yourself to reveal them to yourself and then do as you please with them. You have free will, therefore you suffer and you are aware of your suffering. Prisoners still can determine what they do in their prison. Understand this place, what and where it is, know what you are, how you came here, why you came here, how to return. This knowledge and truths are not hidden. They cannot be hidden. They want to be known by you. It is their main goal. It is being provided to you by the ruling powers, accompanied with perversions, corrupt additions. It is to confuse you. Pick it out and live accordingly to it. Incorporate it into every aspect of your life. That is the hardest part for people, as you have to float above this physical world while being in the body that dictates the opposite. Prepare yourself for the answers, cleanse yourself, reach out to the One, speak within, without, that you are ready. Live strictly according to the answers. When addressing divinity, be careful to articulate well. Do not demand, tell, beg, order, suggest, ask. All of this is abhorrent. Just state and do your duty. Be in harmony with everything the divine law is providing without interpreting it in human terms, as all was designed to realize your return. Be like that which you want to connect with as much as possible. Thank the One every day for being, for its divine law providing you with a chance to return to your original state, the realm you truly belong to. For it is power of necessity applying the justified corrections that you experience every day. Praise the higher beings who operate according to the One's divine law, which are manifestations of the One, for providing the means of life in all areas, for sustaining them and providing these means for your benefit, guiding you to the release and for more. If you connect with the One, you may experience its unlimited power. No prison can confine this power, and that's how you escape it. You will be guided up to a certain point, yet most work is to be done by you. Restraining emotions, desires, passions, and energies does not mean cutting them off, as that will harm you, but channeling them to work for higher causes after taming them gently. This all will lead to a sober, simpler life filled with gifts because you fully become your own master instead of your emotions, desires, passions dictating you how to be. Simultaneously with this process, you will be cleansing yourself and you will be ready to be enlightened by the One. Studying ancient texts might be a start, although one needs to find the small true elements among the fabrications and distortions. Under no circumstances should you join secret societies. Do not accept any human authority and no human concepts on divine matters. You only need yourself and the divine, no intervention by others. Do not waste energy waiting for events like awakenings and shifts, or your stay will only be extended. And that's the end of the insider's insight into what this existence really is. If you have any doubts, let me explain to you why I'm convinced that all of this is true. Some of you know that besides my typical psychedelic content explorations, I've been researching other aspects of science and our life for years. And there are many hidden truths in the insider's text which I am familiar with, and without a shadow of the doubt, they validate everything he said. For a long time, I've known that we're surrounded in our houses by what is called dirty electricity. I know that vitamins are processes, not isolated chemicals, and that they are toxic in synthetic form. I mentioned in the 434 video about lies that oil supply is unlimited and renewable. I told you about money being fake. I know about inbreeding not resulting in genetic mutations. Like every other parent, I know about babies being born unhappy. I made a video on my second YouTube channel about reincarnation because of my mom's near-death experience and many more reasons. There's a lot of aspects that we can explain with insider's knowledge, like the eternal sin in Christianity finally making sense, as we are all here because of our flawed mindset. Of course, all of you who have been following the 434 teachings find plenty of confirmations in all the messages I received in the psychedelic realm, like this life being a training ground simulation, humans originally belonging to a different realm, all the information about the energy and how we mistakenly call it God, the human definition of evil, and many more. This valuable information connects all other metaphysical theories like the law of one, law of attraction, soul trap, and others, finally creating a logical, comprehensive explanation of what this life is. For me personally, this is a very important insight as it resonates with all of my knowledge and unexplained subjective sensations of being tired of coming to this reality, as if it was an endless process of repeating the same existence over and over again. I hope this video was as beneficial to your future here as it was for me, and if you want to say thank you for my efforts, please donate through methods listed on the screen and in the video description. Subscribe and follow, like and share this video. For merchandise, go to shop.b434.com. Leave your email address at news.b434.com. Visit the website of the artist and the musician I featured here. For more info or contact, visit b434.com and join 434's social media on YouTube, Facebook, BitChute, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and VK. Talk to each other on Reddit, Discord, and Telegram. All links in the video description.